Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you the guide to nice body lines. Now, as you see, I have a piece of tape on this body line here. I have it just below the line that I'm trying to accent and have straight. This line is not a straight line, so you can't just pull the tape across. As you can see, it has a curvature to it. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but it does curve as it goes back on the body. So it's not just a matter of drawing a straight line, it's a matter of paying attention to the detail of the car and drawing the tape according to the contour of the car and the line that is already somewhat existent here. Now what we're trying to do is just enhance it. So I've put the tape on the bottom of the line and I've sanded the top of the line with a block. And then what we're going to do next is put the tape on the top above the tape that's there. And once we're satisfied that it's straight, then we will peel the bottom tape off and we will sand the underside of it. And what that will do is give us a nice, sharp, clean line. And it'll look nice and straight. You want to make sure your tape is straight before you start sanding, of course. Make sure your line is straight. Now, as an example, up here, I've drawn with a pencil where the line was. I put tape on it first, curved the tape around the corner, and then I used a pencil mark just to highlight where the line is exactly. So if I have to retape it, it's easy for me to do that. So I've taped the outside and then sanded the inside, and then taped the inside and sanded the outside just the same. And that's the kind of detail that we end up with in the end. You can do this with all your body lines to make them sharper, and it's recommended to put tape on your body lines anyway when you're block sanding, because you will dull the line if you go over it with the block. So it just helps keep you from dulling the line down or making it flat. You also want to do that when you're polishing a car for the same reason. Well, for a couple different reasons. When you're cutting the car with sandpaper, it will burn through the corners much quicker, and you'll flatten your line out. And then when you're using the polisher, that's the same thing. If you have fresh paint on there and you put a polisher on a corner, it'll burn the paint off really fast because the paint is thinner on the corners than it is on the rest of the car. So it's always a good practice to put tape on your lines when you're polishing your car. So now I'm just going to tape this line up, and I leave a little bit of space between it, maybe 1/8 of an inch between the tape, just so the sandpaper can get right to the edge of what I want to sand. So I'm just going to lay the tape on like so. If you make a mistake, lift it off, start over. It does take patience to do this, but it's worth it in the end to get a nice straight line. Well, you go through a lot of tape doing it too. But in the end, you end up with a nice straight line. And that's the part, for me anyway, important. There's there's nothing worse than seeing wavy lines, wavy bodywork. People put all that time into the car to make it nice, and then you see ripples in the body. And it just takes away from the car in the end. I hope you can hear me okay. There we go. A nice straight tape line. We have our other tape line. Push it down really good. Then I'm going to be sanding over it in a second. Still sitting a little bit high at the back here. So we'll fix that. There we go. Now I've also put a pencil mark on the top and bottom of this tape, so that if for some reason I get lost, I have a way to know exactly where my tape line is. Because you don't want to sand part of the car and then lose your tape line and then try to reestablish it again, because you'll never get it back in the same spot without some kind of marker to tell you where to put it. So I mark it so that if I need to retape the bottom line or either line, I can put tape and follow this line right here and know exactly where I need to put my tape. So then to sand this, all I'm going to do is just take this block. I keep it flat on the bottom surface. I don't put it up like that. Keep it flat on the bottom surface and sand it like that. And basically we're just going until we get it somewhat smooth. Now, as you see, I've also lost my pencil mark. That's okay, because I can put another pencil mark on the top of this tape after I'm done here sanding, and I'll still have a reference line to the tape. Don't want to dig into it too much. I'm just trying to get the edge, is all I'm trying to do. The whole car is going to get blocked after this, but I won't be touching this line again when I'm blocking. I will tape the line so that I don't go over it. I'll tape right on the line next time so that I don't run the sandpaper over the line by mistake and cause the line to flatten out. Same goes for a line like this, the wheel well line. If you're trying to sharpen it up, then you can do the same thing. You can put tape on one side of it, sand it, put more tape on the other side of it, take the original tape off, and sand it again to sharpen it up. And you can make these lines very sharp. And the sharper the line, the better it looks when it's painted. Sharp body lines are very sexy. So, and yes, I said sexy. Not like a girl sexy, but car sexy. So now I've got this done. I'm going to just run a pencil across this. Stay on track. Trying to do it too much of a hurry is the problem. It's okay if you don't stay in the lines, as long as you get the line colored. I know which one is the run. It'll be the straight one. Get my teeth buckled up a little bit. Do this area. I wouldn't use a marker or anything like that to do this, because a marker can bleed through your paint or your primer. You can bleed through all those things, so it's not a good idea to do that. Pencil will not leave a mark in the end, and this pencil will get sanded off anyway. But even if you left the pencil mark and painted over it, you'd never see it through the paint. Whereas a marker or a pen, there's a very good chance you'll see that bleed through the paint, and it'll ruin your whole day. So now that we've got that done, put the pencil up there. We can peel our tape back. We can look at our line. So we have a nice smooth line here, nice and sharp, nice and straight. So a neat little trick, if you want to see how straight your lines are, see how straight your body panel is you take grease and wax remover, which is used for cleaning a car before you paint. But if you take grease and wax remover and you spray it on the car pretty liberally, like so, it won't hurt anything. It will evaporate pretty quickly. But now you can see the shine on the car, you can see the reflection, you can see how straight the line is, you can see kind of how it's going to look when it's painted. So as you can see, this panel looks pretty good. You can do this with the whole car. Before you paint, when you think you're done your body work, you spray it like this, and you can get a reflection out of it and have a good idea of what it's going to look like when it's finished. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our channel. I'm trying to put out videos every day for entertainment purposes, for educational purposes, whatever you want to use them for. And I'll show more tips and tricks in the future and show you some really cool stuff. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.